So we landed in Barcelona,
Mhm.
and we decided to spend 2 days in Barcelona prior to our ship or us boarding the ship
Mhm.
to give us a little bit of time to settle in and also to see Barcelona
Mhm.
as we wanted to see Spain and Barcelona. So we got there like to the hotel like 6 or 7 at night, right?
Yeah, it was still light and
We
beautiful,
checked in
and we checked into
the
Four Points Sheridan, which is located on Diagonal and Las Ramblas.
Las Ramblas.
Amazing
That was a cool street
area.
that we lived on and area that we lived in. We actually were pretty close to kind of everything, but that street,
Las Ramblas.
Las Ramblas, was
Amazing. It's a
very very nice.
boulevard that went past the hotel down to the beach, and along the boulevard there are trees lining this pathway with very minimal local traffic that's off to the side, away from all the pedestrians and cyclists. And the trees are fairly close together, and they make this canopy over the boulevard. And the cafes and the little um, the tapas places and the bakeries, just everywhere. It's wonderful.
We like bakeries.
Mhm.
We like bakeries, and then at the end of the street is the ocean,
Mhm.
which is not that far from our hotel. I'm not
Mhm.
exactly sure how far.
Maybe
Maybe
6 blocks.
maybe a kilometer.
Yeah,
Yeah, maybe a kilometer from our
not that far.
um, from our hotel, and so we did walk down there,
And
and
the beach was very similar to Huntington. It was deep
um,
and kind of golden color sand. It had a marina at one end, and then just miles and miles and miles of beach. It's
very familiar for
beautiful.
us.
Yeah, large promenade, kind of a two-tier system where they had little cafes and restaurants, and it was wonderful.
That was
Wonderful.
nice.
Yeah.
It was really nice, and um, uh, we spent a little bit of time down there
Hmm.
the following day
Yeah,
on the beach
on the
and
beach.
just kind of hanging out and watching people and
Hmm.
a lot of people running and
Hmm.
volleyball on the beach, and
Hmm.
so it looked very similar to a beach back home
Hmm.
and how people were using it
Hmm.
and whatnot. So the beach was nice and right on the
Lots of
ocean like that.
sailboats.
Yeah, lots of
Yeah,
sailboats. Looked like there were
little sailing
lots of
school.
sailing
Oh,
school and then races going on
yeah,
as well,
yeah,
regattas,
yeah,
races,
yeah.
all of that. So it was very nice out there, and it was warm
Hmm.
weather there too. So
Hmm.
we were we were we were enjoying that for sure.
Hmm. Hmm.
And originally, our plan was to jump on the hop on hop off bus in Barcelona on that first day.
Hmm.
So we'd spent the night, and then the first of the 2 days. But um, we just kind of felt like hanging close
Hmm.
to the hotel and on that boulevard and just relaxing and enjoying the day.
Hmm.
Um,
We also learned that we could get our COVID test done 3 days before the cruise, so we did it that
yeah,
day,
we did
which
at the
is,
pharmacy there, one
yeah,
of the pharmacies,
I
many
think,
pharmacies,
yeah, we had to be less than 72 hours, so I think we did 71 hours at a time.
something like that. She kept asking us, "Are you sure? Are you sure? Are you sure?"
Yeah,
And
it
yeah,
was so
we're sure.
convenient. The pharmacy was just down from the hotel, and it was
And it's
just
fast,
easy.
30
Yeah,
minutes, and it's inexpensive.
yeah, yeah.
I think it was like $30 each,
Euros,
30
yeah.
euros each. Unlike home, it was like $100.
Mhm.
So that
Super
was nice
easy
and
and
fast, 30
convenient.
minutes. So we were in and out with that. Actually,
Mhm.
we took it and went and hung out, and we forgot that siesta
We
time was what was
from
one to
2 to 4
was it 2 to 4,
or 1 to 3,
1 to 3.
something like
They
that.
have a 2 hour lunch that
Yeah,
they do,
siesta.
siesta.
Hmm.
And so we went back to get our COVID test results and certificate, and it was closed because
Siesta.
um, they were having their siesta time. Which that's one of the things I really like about Spain is it's a slower pace.
Uh-huh.
Um, People aren't frantic and running around and
And they seem to
with
kind
their
of
hair on
live
fire
live where they work, or that was
or
at
close
least
by.
the area
Yeah,
that we were in.
close by.
A lot of people walking to work, biking to work. The schools, they have little schools right there, a lot of community, little markets, little grocery stores, little everything was little. Yeah, that's wonderful.
Very relaxed,
Hmm.
very relaxed. And so that
And
was
people were
nice.
super friendly,
Well,
super
yeah,
friendly.
yeah, they were great, whether it was in the restaurants
Hmm.
or the hotel or wherever
Hmm.
it was. So the first day was just a chill day,
Hmm.
relax, enjoy the boulevard that we were on, which we did,
Hmm.
and the ocean at the end of the boulevard. And so we really just kind of hung out in that area. And we
Hmm.
ended up doing a lot of walking, but we're
Hmm.
just going back and forth, walking up down the boulevard and getting
Yeah.
gelato and
Hmm.
those kind of things. So the first day was just super relaxed.
Hmm.
The second day is the day that we decided to go out and explore.
Yeah, so we did the hop on, hop off. Well,
We
first
did.
we went for breakfast, and then we went to hop on, hop off. And there was so much to see. It was almost overwhelming, all the different um, opportunities to do tourist stuff. And we kind of picked our top three and went from there.
Yeah, and we had a surprise at the end, but before we got there, our first stop was the cathedral.
Mm-hmm.
Familiar?
Familiar. Yeah.
Oh, that in the Gothic sector.
Mm-hmm.
That was, I think, better than I expected.
Yeah, the level of detail and craftsmanship on that.
And it's interesting too because at the top of the steeples,
Mm-hmm.
there's like fruit,
Ornamental.
ornamental fruit, like
Yeah.
oranges and
Yeah.
pears and
All the regional. Yeah.
yeah. So that was interesting. We didn't go in, but we
Mm-hmm.
did take
Oh,
pictures
the
and video
lines
all
would
the
have
way
been
around,
so
and the lines
long.
were long,
Yeah.
and so instead we went down the street and
Wandered around the neighborhood.
and
Yeah.
and got some lunch at a local restaurant there, which was nice.
Fantastic.
And it's not quick.
Yeah, no, it's very relaxed.
Be prepared to
Yeah. And
relax.
it's not all that expensive for being in a big city.
No,
Yeah,
Barcelona was quite
yeah,
inexpensive.
it was
I
very
was
reasonable.
pleasantly surprised by
Yeah.
that. And then once we left there, we wanted to go up to Park
Part
Güell,
Dual. Hmm.
and Park
So
Güell is an interesting story.
yeah, we ditched the hop on hop off bus and
We did.
decided to make our way up the hill, going to
Mhm.
find Part Dual, which we found no trouble.
Yeah.
And yeah, what a
Well,
surprise!
so before we get to that though, Park Güell is a place that an architect back in the late 1800s, right?
Very late,
Very late,
yeah.
early 1900s, late 1800s, decided to build a development out there, and
Hmm.
very ornate with colored tiles
Hmm.
and that sort of thing. The problem was, at least at that time,
Oh, the subdivision
the
problem.
subdivision problem was people wanted to live close to their work, and this was out a little ways,
Hmm.
and so nobody was buying them,
Hmm.
and so I think it kind of went under for the architect, or it was kind of a fail. So he sold it back to the city,
Hmm.
and the city turned it into a park.
Hmm.
So
Yeah, like
at this place, right, when you get up into Park Gould, there's all this beautiful tile and color and
walkways and
walkways, and
yeah,
you can see out over
yeah.
Barcelona, and it's a nice vantage point and stuff. So we were really excited to get up there and see that. That was
Hmm.
one of the places that we absolutely wanted to see, was a must for us. So we hike all the way up there, and it was a pretty good hike to get up there. We finally get up there, and we
Tickets are
get in line and
sold
we
for the
walk.
day.
Well, we get in line and the guy goes, "You need tickets to get in here." So we didn't know that first, and then so where do we get tickets? And he goes, "I'm
Well,
sorry, but it
they're
is
sold for the
sold
day.
out for the day.
We're
You'll have to
like,
come back tomorrow to get in." And of course, we're leaving on the ship tomorrow, so
yeah.
we were unable to do that. And so he said, as a consolation prize,
Hmm.
you can walk
Take the
up
pass.
further, keep going up above the park,
Yeah,
and then you can look out
the
over.
vistas. Yeah.
Yeah, you can see over Barcelona. And so we got up there, and there was a nice surprise when we got up there.
Hmm.
Um, there
That was
was
quite the hike.
it was a good hump
Yeah.
getting up there, and but at the top we were rewarded not just with the view,
Yeah.
which was fantastic, but also we ran into some authentic Spanish dancers that were
Hmm.
dancing up there.
Yeah, they were wearing their full local Barcelona regalia with the swinging flounced ruffled skirts
Yeah,
and the
and,
sashes, and the men with the white shirt with the sash
and the
and
hat,
hat.
and
Oh, it was wonderful.
they were yeah they
It
were
was wonderful.
they were dancing up there. So we
Yeah.
watched that for a little while, and then looked out over the view, and then
Hmm.
decided to head back down. So we walked back down, and we kind of took a little detour through
Mm-hmm.
the the neighborhood a little bit, the
Residential.
residential
Yeah.
areas, just to kind of see what people
Mm-hmm.
were doing and how they were living. We come across this beautiful park,
Mm-hmm.
and there were kids performing dances and
On roller skates.
on roller skates, and people playing soccer,
Yeah. And the
um,
old wall that we saw.
and the
Yeah.
old wall,
Mm-hmm.
and saw some old part of the town, and that was nice.
It was
That
wonderful.
was
Yeah.
nice walking through there and seeing that.
Yeah.
And then we ended up getting back on the hop on, hop off, right? Um, ended up getting back on the hop on, hop off and taking it downtown.
Mm-hmm.
And it took us to the square,
Mm-hmm.
which was amazing.
Yes.
I mean, in the middle of Barcelona, there's a square with the most popular famous street, and there was
Mm-hmm.
a couple fountains in the middle of the square, and
Mm-hmm.
the buildings around
Mm-hmm.
were outstanding.
Mm-hmm.
But there were just throngs of people. There were so many people there, and but we made our way through and spent some time and saw some of the neat buildings and
Mm-hmm.
that area. Took some pictures and a
It's
little bit of
beautiful.
video, and
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
it was nice to see.
Mm-hmm.
And then we decided it was time to go back to the hotel, so we walked back
Mm-hmm.
instead of taking the hop on hop off closer to our hotel. We decided to walk,
Mm-hmm.
and that was nice. Got back to the hotel and finished our evening on the street that we really liked.
Los Ramblos.
Got
Yeah.
Went out for dinner and
Tapas.
tapas.
Paella.
That's right, we had paella,
Yeah.
and so just enjoyed the area we were in. And I think if I was going to live in Barcelona, that would be one area I would consider.
Mm-hmm.
Very nice there.
Mm-hmm.
And then the next day we
Just went out for breakfast, enjoyed, went down to the ocean. Very relaxed. Very
relaxed,
nice. Yeah.
yeah, and then headed off to the cruise ship. We were
Mm-hmm.
expecting big lines to get in there,
So easy.
and there was nobody. We shot right
So
through
easy.
on the cruise ship.
Yeah. Brand new terminal. Beautiful, easy. Yeah. It was
Barcelona
lovely.
was nice.
Yeah.
I would say that
I would go back in a
I would go
heartbeat.
back.
Yes.
We typically don't go back to places because there's so
Yeah.
many places to see, but Barcelona is one of those ones
Oh,
we would
there's
consider.
so much more to see.
Yeah, and Spain is fantastic.
Mhm.
So we really enjoyed that.
Okay.